Now, you're the Vice President of the Multimedia Development Corporation, like a key Malaysian government agency which is involved in IT. What can you tell us about technology development in the country?
Well, it's really interesting because in a very short period of time, which is 15 years, we went from a quite nascent industry to one that has yielded companies that were bought over by Facebook, etc.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so essentially what we did was we fast-tracked that development, and we did that with a combination of, foreign investment, sharing technologies and learning from other large corporations, and also driving local growth.
My understanding is that key to your efforts is something called the Multimedia Super Corridor. What is that?
So the Multimedia Super Corridor is a rather cool thing, maybe not so clever when you think about it now, but in 1995, somebody came out and said, I think one day a pipe with lots of information running through it will be the basis for a strong business.
Right.
And hence the Multimedia Super Corridor was born. And it is, for want of a better word, it is an innovation park, and we drew in international names, local boys. So you've got everybody from Dell to HSBC to BMW running a variety of services there, from data centers to shared services. And that in return created a local or Malaysian set of companies who are now doing everything from software to cloud to graphics and animation.
Okay, that's really interesting, because when I think, outsourcing in Asia, I'm much more inclined to think, say, India or, now increasingly countries like China. Kind of what is different about what Malaysia offers within this context? Okay.
Interestingly enough, Malaysia has been ranked third after China and India by A.T. Kearney over the last 3 or 4 years, globally as a shared services destination. Now, the difference with us, though, is we're focusing on knowledge process outsourcing.
Right.
So we're not going for the big numbers. We're not going for 5,000, 6,000 people, call centers, etc. Instead, we're looking at higher-end services, companies that are doing their treasury, companies that are doing design, companies that are doing legal and HR stuff. Right. So I'd say that's why Malaysia is quite different from India and China, and probably why you don't hear about it so much.
Right. So it's more, you're saying it's more high-end stuff,
yes,
rather than sort of bulk data processing, right, or that type of thing.
Yes.
And is there anything specifically geographically about Malaysia that, obviously it's centrally located within, the Asia-Pacific region. Is that something that boosts shared service outsourcing?
Well, I think it plays a part because you're halfway between China and India, right, on some level. But I think because people don't really, the physicality of moving around is not so much a factor anymore. I think the big plus for Malaysia was it is very heterogeneous. It's not just one culture. Right. So Malaysians are used to speaking different languages and seeing, meeting people, working with people from the time you go to school. The guys around you or the people around you are different looking. Right. So it's a lot easier for businesses, for global businesses, to come in and fit in, and also be able to reach out to the other parts of the region. Right. Yeah. So growth markets, Indonesia, Thailand, Indochina, seem to, the companies like to serve those markets. They're near enough, yet there's something about Malaysia that gives them consistency. And
what about the future? Obviously, there's been quite a significant growth with this MSC and the efforts that you've been doing around here, putting in data centers, doing outsourcing. What about the future? Kind of what are going to be the future drivers for Malaysia in this space?
I think we're looking at the cloud initiative is fabulous, really, and for us it's great because we've worked up towards that, and we're looking at the reality now is companies want to have their data closer to their customers, and clearly the markets around us are booming. And it makes a lot of sense for them to be in Malaysia because they can reach out, they have the facilities, the services, they have the talent. This is very, very important. And a lot of the reasons cited by companies for choosing Malaysia is talent, right? So cloud is definitely one of the big drivers. Mobile apps has been tremendous growth in mobile apps, and there's a trickle-down effect there. And the other thing that we are really going to try and focus on is embedded systems. Right. Because really, big data and the Internet of Things, from our perspective, is really going to drive the industry going forward. Yeah, because we don't quite know what that's going to be, the machine-to-machine stuff, but we know that we need to be there. So we're going to be putting a lot of focus and R&D into embedded systems as well.
This market has fewer players.
We're coming into a Monday where
we're entering a new stage of tech.
It's a stock picker's market.
Welcome to the 5 dumbest things.
Apple reported earnings.